some reading. How are you doing? Yeah, we were just listening to that. Very cool. Yeah, class loves that. It's one of our favorites. Yes, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you very, very much. Page 130, Meaning of Man. We'll start on 129. How about 128? Now the spirit was created to imitate God precisely by its function and unification, and to be an image of his power by containing the corporeal world, not in the grasp of a superior quantity, but in the purity of an intelligible act. Thus, by its act, as by its substance, the embodied spirit commands the materiality of the species itself, which is referred to him. Finally, and this we have already indicated, the spiritual person finds his consonance and intelligible order only in his direct relation to God. His consistence. Thank you. What did I say? He may well be engaged in a matter, but he is not immersed in it. As spirit, he is not exhausted in his body, but turns away from it towards God. His very being involves a relation vertical to God, which takes him out of the line of development, horizontal, of the species. It's an interesting sentence. His very being involves a relation, vertical, to God, which takes him out of the line of development, horizontal, of the species. The relation, they're referring vertical to God, and development to horizontal of the species. That's kind of interesting. We'll kind of dissect that a little more later. Sure. And all the more so since all his activity orinates him immediately to God, and since, made as he is to know God and to love him, he can thus double his ontological relation by a free relation which constitutes his dignity and perfects in him the image of God. All this goes to show that the human person has an absolute value of his own, and is willed for his own sake, that he is the most perfect of creatures, and the one whom all the others are willed, that he is the principal part of the universe, supreme, fraternal with the whole, capable of gathering it all up in himself, and therefore himself indispensably necessary in order that the whole may exist. He is a free creature, capable of participation in the divine government of the universe, and so a cause willed for itself. He is immortal as an individual, and not simply in virtue of participating in a species. His spiritual acts have therefore an eternal value, and it is under their strictly personal aspect that God wills their performance here below. He carries the image of God, substantial, unique, ineradicable, but perfectible, and the whole universe is there to help him to perfect it. He is willed according to his proper individuality, and he is therefore never a means, either to the species or to the universe. He is an end. We may now perceive how deep it is, the immense of the species in the person. We may now perceive how deep is the eminence of the species in the person. In virtue of his subsistence, which is strictly personal and owes nothing of its permanence to the species as such, in virtue of his power of totalization, which enables him to contain the species, in virtue of his immediate relation to God, whereby he is willed for his own sake within the bosom of the species. The person is, so to speak, the pole of the whole and the end of the species. When he returns on himself, he finds the whole species there within him, but has something that was made for himself. And that is why, if the deepest impulse of a being is a natural love of the whole, he loves it not as something that englobes him and absorbs, but has something that perfects and personalizes. And therefore, once more, the two specific phenomenon which mark him so profoundly, society and generation, are not at all in him as they are in other creatures, simply for the benefit of the species, but equally for the benefit of the person. For generation is normally implicated in a state of life in which the person, a subsistent, finds the fulfillment of his being in a love shared, and has open by communication of self, and society is willed as a whole of communities in which the communion, and therefore the fulfillment of persons, is prepared and brought about. This brings us to the essential paradox of the person considered in relation to humanity at large. Insofar as he is a spirit informing a body, he is drawn toward the conditions of material substance. He is a member of the species and exists for the sake of the species. Insofar as he is a spirit transcending the body, he shares the condition of the spiritual creature. He is marked by direct relation to God and surpasses the species made for his sake. He is defined on the one side by his multiple ties with and integration in the species, and on the other by his simplicity and capacity for interiorization. He is at once a member and a whole, an eccentric point and a center. An eccentric point and a century. He is a living tension between himself and the whole, and neither can come to fulfillment save in the other and by the other. The paradox is resumed in Pascal's famous phrase, "Mankind is un corpus de membris pensans." Because it is a body, the members come to fulfillment only in the body. It is in its progressive unity, because the members are thinking. The body comes to fulfillment only in them, in their free movements of interiority and communion. And if there is to be a full solution of the paradox, it will demand that the species itself be gathered up into a personal unity and become a single man, an absolute paradox, pushing both the tension and the unity to its limit, and realized only in Christ. When he first sees the light, man is only a vague hope. He exists but in germ, and must come to his full development of himself, not in the least in accordance with his own mere fancy and anarchicality, but in accordance with the law of his being. Now, a spiritual being is nothing other than the term personal and conscious of a personal will of God. He is therefore a being divinely called, and he has to respond to this call. His deepest reality is to be called, that is to say, foisted in being, not simply to endure has foisted, but to achieve his being for himself. He is open on the world, on humanity, and on God, and that means that his first and fundamental impulse will be to augment, to surpass, and to fulfill his being by entertaining into union with all three. In the very heart of the human being, therefore, there lies a radical and ineradicable exigency to expansion, and this is no abstract and anonymous law, but a personal invitation from God. Man is thus called to enrich himself in body and in spirit by every kind of cultural activity, and by gradually establishing his dominion over the world, to possess himself by way of an infinitely more intimate activity of mind and will, leading to full self-awareness and self-mastery, and to give himself in an unforced generosity which shall carry him over his own frontiers and introduce him to the blessed world of communion and love. This call and the energies it calls forth commands the structure of the human being, constitutes his abiding worth, and defines the radical law of his actions. We'll pause there. Page 131. You can read some more later, yes. You're welcome. Thank you. Yes, we made some soup. It's really good. It's wild rice. We put it in the crock pot, the wild rice mix. It's very good. We added miso broth, and then what we did was we blended an onion with some peas, a red onion with peas. What else did we put in there? Oh yeah, some coconut milk, some turmeric. Yeah, we wanted to make it kind of like a coconut curry play. So it was the peas, the red onion. This is in the Ninja blender because we wanted to blend it into a broth to add to the wild rice and miso. No, we just cooked the wild rice with the water, salt, and a few drops of olive oil. And then after it cooks, you add a little bit of the miso. Then in the blender, we put the peas, the red onion, turmeric, salt, pepper. We put extra turmeric again today, yes. What else? Oh yes, some molasses. Molasses is very yummy in this. A little bit of mustard. I think that was it. Yeah, that's really good in it too. I did not put that in there though. And I do have some of that. Yes, we put this in that soup sometimes. You're right. You remembered. This is the Dynasty Chinese 5 spices. This adds a nice flavor to it sometimes. It smells so good. Actually, I should probably add some of this to it. I think I will do that. Presto, changeo. Just like that. Oh, it smells so good. Red onion is very, very good for you. The Chinese 5 spices from Dynasty, a traditional blend of spices used in Chinese cooking. Shake well before using. Refrigerate after opening. Ingredients: cinnamon, star anise, fennel seed, cloves, ginger, white pepper, and licorice root. So good. This is really good for you. Yeah, look at the benefits of those ingredients. Yeah, get lost in that rabbit hole. The star anise is really good. Cloves are awesome. Licorice root is really, really good for you. They have proven, I think they've proven, yes, something to do with the young gene, they call it. Yeah, something the cells, something it does something in the cells. Licorice root's one of those. There's other things too that constitute the same kind of adaptations. I don't know if that made any sense, but it sounded kind of smart. Sure. I shouldn't be too sure of myself. Do I say for sure a lot? Sure. For sure. Too positive? You got revelation. That's funny. Pseudo revelation. The Quran. Al-Quran. Liking. You wanted me to do a word. That's funny too that you got that. We were just talking about revelation in class. That's a good one. 380. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Up top it says the first words are heretic, antichrist, pagan, heathen. That's funny. Thanks for suggesting a word at this moment and the timing. Superstitious, visionary, fanatical. Pseudo revelation. Interesting, the Quran is under that. Al-Quran, liking, Ly-King. Shaster, Vedas, Zendavesta, Vidyadad, Purins, Gautama, Book of Mormon, false prophets and religious founders, Buddha, Zoroaster, Zerdust, Confucius, Muhammad, idols, golden calf, Baal, Moloch, and Dagon. That's funny. Piety and piety. Elected, justified, sanctified, regenerated, inspired, consecrated, converted, unearthly, not of the earth, believing, faithful, Christian, Catholic. Interesting. Apostasy. Put that on the crossword. Apostasy. Apostasy. Snuffle. Turn the whites of the eyes. Idolize. You want me to post them? I can post them if you want. Oops. Drop my bookmark. Yeah, rainy day. Alright, we'll read some more in a little bit. You're welcome. Thank you. Ribbit.
that mean when they say that you have a frog in your throat? Oh, it's like an air bubble. Are you sure that's what it means? Depends on who you're talking to. Touche. Very much love, health, and peace be with you and always with you. Namaste. It was a really nice day. I love rainy days. Yeah, it depends. It's on the schedule, right? I guess. Even then, I guess you kind of gotta accept the rain or anything else. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Mm-hmm. I think the bird heard us. Oh, you saw that piece of bread down there? Hey, hey.